Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy. Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Flannel Sam in for D-Mac. We got KG. We got Spencer Raxter. We got all of you jumping in at woodwardsports.com chat thread. Get your thoughts out there. We'll discuss it. That was a big-time Monday night.
That was absolutely electric. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was one of those nights where I wish I had like 3 TVs that I can just put around the house for the Red Wings, Tigers, and LSU versus Iowa. That other team in Detroit, we can just go off to the side. They can just go away.
They played a good game.
They did, but they also blew a 13-point half.
Yes, they did. What's up? Everybody's saying what's up with Mac? No D-Mac. He will be in on Friday, so
correct.
He's taking his sabbatical today.
Yeah, D-Mac will be back tomorrow,
Yep.
Thursday, Friday. Obviously, we'll be downtown opening day as well. Look forward to being out there.
Yeah.
And speaking of that Detroit Tigers team.
How about them? Eat them up.
4-0. Why are you looking at me like that, KG? Why?
I'm just seeing where you stand. That's all. I'm just gauging you. That's all. Continue.
You're looking at me with a tone.
No, it's not. I legitimately want to see where you're at with the Tigers after 4 wins.
I'm happy.
Okay.
They're 4-0.
Liking
all
the
right,
young talent
let
so
me
far?
flip the table. What did you expect me to say?
It's fool's gold. Just give them time. They'll come back down to earth.
Well, they are going to lose a game this year. Like
yeah. But
that will happen.
no, absolutely. But I mean, do you like what you're seeing from the young talent?
Yeah, how can you
thus
not?
far?
And I have some things that I want to get into about that.
Okay.
Where I really like what I'm seeing, just from the standpoint of from what I'm not seeing. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And we'll get in there.
Yeah.
And like this is going to be one of my vintage takes.
Okay.
Flannel.
I can't wait for this.
Nuanced, thought out, preparedness, all of it.
It's just a Tigers fan reaching out to another Tigers fan. That's all. That's all it is.
Why don't
It's
you just
all
cut
love.
the shit, KG,
It's
and say
all
what you want to
love.
say to me, all
Oh
right?
my God, Neal, it's all love. We try to get to the same place, I promise. So,
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Detroit Dabber, Neal getting a taste of his own tone.
No Diddy.
it is about the tone.
Is he looking at me with tone?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But that's okay. that is all right. KG, I respect it.
Thank you.
All right, let's get DNC ENT. Neal is slowly converting. Converting what? I told you guys, I'm a bigger Tiger fan than all of you.
And it goes back to tone. It was the tone you used.
I'm a bigger Tiger fan than all of you.
I understand.
I put more time into this team than all of you.
I understand that.
So don't tone me.
I'm
don't
telling
look
you,
at me like that.
We just want to hold you accountable. You made some remarks about third base and Kerry Carpenter and the young talent. So, and we know where you stand philosophy.
What remarks did I make about Kerry Carpenter?
Well, it's not so much about that to me. It's the fact that you did have lower expectations for this year's team than I think any of us in the room.
74
and that's fair.
wins?
That's 100% fair and documented.
Then 79.
And there's
79.
Nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that, but if they do start out and they do exceed your expectations, we're allowed to say, hey, Neal, you didn't really quite believe in this team as much. But it's all well and good. It's just you did not have that high of expectations for this team. That's fair. Like I said,
It is
documented.
fair.
I said 79 wins. What was the Vegas line?
After I gave you a chance to fix it, you said 74 originally, but you know.
Then I said 79.
Yeah, you did.
And what was the Vegas line? Was it 80 and a half, right?
It is.
Yeah, but I mean, for example, I have them winning this division. Is that a little bit of a homer?
They could
take?
do that with 79 wins.
I don't know about that.
Come on.
I think it'll
that's
probably take-
one win more than last year, Neal. Come on now.
Hey, if they do it with 79 wins, I won't even be mad. They're not. It's 79 wins. It's not going to win this division, but 85 or 86 might. And if they get that, that is a wildly successful season. And I get it. Me picking them to win the division was a little bit of a, I would say, idealistic take, or you could make that argument. But so far, so good. Especially with the pitching and that bullpen. We're going to get into that.
And this is what we wanted, a fast start.
Yep.
And they got it, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is the best start since, 2016?
This is what you asked for, Neal.
Yes.
Right.
You said that.
I said win some games. They did.
Yeah.
And they're guaranteed. And, like, look, they have a chance. Friday could be like,
Man.
think about what Spenny did when they stunk
Yeah.
on opening day.
Yeah.
Spenny, if they're undefeated,
Oh yeah,
if they're 6-0,
Stop it. ...
I'm drinking a lot of water this week in preparation.
So you're starting your hydration process today.
Oh yeah.
Smart man.
Gonna have liquid IVs ready. Just yeah.
Resuscitate.
Yeah, I gotta pay it forward, so I gotta get my hydration in now.
Liquid IVs ready.
Yep.
Yeah. Smart man.
No, but yeah, we're certainly going to get into it because there is a ton. And just real quick too, because I wanted to bring this up. You guys know this, right? Like, Spenny, you know intimately. You essentially produce 2 shows here.
I do.
So coming up with content, post NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the first day since I joined this network in a post football society here at Woodward. We're going to have a hard time getting to everything, and none of it's football.
Yeah.
Like with what happened, I mean, we're going to get football in because, look, we have a business to run.
Of course.
We're going to get football in.
Football is king.
But theoretically, we could do this show, and look, our show's a little different than most. I could do a show on the Tigers.
You could.
Like the whole show but nobody wants that.
Yeah.
We would slowly
Get an hour easy.
Yeah, easily.
Easy.
Easily. We would slowly bleed out viewership and it would be over. But I do want to take a second to do this. I want to rejoice in this time. Because, Flannel, you know this. In this business, it's tough to come up with non-NFL stuff. And now there's an overload of it. Mm-hmm. On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, club going up. But on a Tuesday. But yeah, I know this is going to sound a little corny and cliche, but April in the D. It's a thing again.
April.
I mean, the Red Wings, they're legitimately, they're alive. They're more than alive. At this point, I would probably say with that big win last night, we're going to get into a little bit more that I expect them to make the playoffs. The Tigers. I think before the year, most of us here had the highest expectations that we'd had for them in many years. And so far, I know it's only a 4-game sample size, but starting your season 4-0, all of those wins on the road, 3 of them against a divisional opponent, albeit a crappy one, that's very impressive. And we're just coming off of one of the best sports nights definitely since football season. I mean, a Red Wings huge win, a Tigers win, the LSU Iowa women's basketball game. There's so much. It's like you said, rejoice in it, live it, love it, and hopefully we get more days like that in the coming weeks as well, because that's very possible too.
Keep it rolling.
Chucky Lewis, it's going to take 87 wins to win the division. Got to watch out for the Guardians. That's all right. Greg Rounds, Neal, just cancel the Pistons segment. They've consistently disappointed us all season long. Nicholas Duncan, rest in peace, White Sox.
Yeah.
I rest in piss, White Sox.
Yeah.
He stole my RIP Tuesday.
Hate him, Spenny.
Yeah.
But shout out Southside.
Yeah, shout out Southside Connect Jersey. Other than that,
Southside and we outside.
other than that, no, definitely. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into that. Tammy Chin, Neal, that's a great morning. Very little football talk. And I said I wanted to get into the draft, which I did. And we're going to see how everything plays out. But I'm still. How do you guys want to do this today? You want to do the Tigers thing? You want to do the Caitlin Clark thing? Because we're doing a Caitlin Clark thing.
I gotta ask Spenny about his girl, man.
We do. We will.
She's her. We'll say that. She's all that.
She's her. She's got to win 2 more games.
She does. But last night, though, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
she was balling.
She's that.
I want to get into what I saw on social media about the game.
I watched
that
the
I
first
didn't
half
like.
when I was on the treadmill.
What's that?
I watched the first half when I was on the treadmill.
Okay, so you watch more than you thought you were going to watch.
Yeah, I mean it was on at the gym.
Okay.
And they don't have the Tigers or the Red Wings on. That kind of pissed me off.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But no, she was making some very nice shots. It's what she does, man.
It's a very nice shot. She was bombing that mofo, man.
The step back on Angel Reese was pretty dirty.
It's crazy.
She started the first half or the first quarter and the third quarter with just pull up threes.
She balled out.
She balled for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
41 points, 12 assists.
Yeah.
8 boards, I think.
She balled out. Spenny, I just sent you something on the Slack there because we gotta get to that here before we get through, because I said we were gonna do it, and we're literally gonna do it.
There it is.
Every single day.
Oh, I know what it is.
Javi watch.
It's time for Javi Watch, everybody. Every single
let me get the
day of the
Cyrus for that.
baseball season that we have a show, I'm going to update you on what's going on with Javi Baez.
Hey, man.
Now, yesterday, 1 for 3, right?
Yeah, man.
1 for 3, because I got the tweets. Elmago's back. It was a winning play. 188, did get his first RBI, so that's good to
strikeouts.
see.
2 strikeouts, I think, as well.
2 strikeouts?
Crucial RBI, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not hurting the team.
But he's not
I grit
helping.
my teeth.
Has he helped you get 2 wins? Yes, he has. And I'm not a Javi apologist.
I would argue that any average level major leaguer would have done the same.
When he's if
Any-
anybody else did what Javi did on opening day, you would at least acknowledge, hey, Javi played a big part in a win. He got a single, he stole second, he advanced to third, and he scored in a sacrifice fly. I mean, here's the thing. Javi, even last night, Javi Baez did have 2 strikeouts. Do you know when he didn't strike out? Top of the 10th with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. He got the job done. I'm not a Javi apologist.
Yeah, they already had the game won at that
they
point,
didn't.
though. Yes, they did.
It was 1-0.
And what was the final score?
5-0.
So, yeah, the game was won.
I wouldn't say that.
Neal, the nature of extra innings. If you are ahead to 1-0, the Mets in last night's case have the winning run at the plate. That insurance run is huge. Even with that insurance run, you still have the tying run at the plate. I mean, Carson Kelly with that 3-run bomb to really put it out of reach. That was nice. But I would say that.
Tell me how great he is getting an out, because that's what he does.
Oh, he got an out. Oh, that's
He
what he
does.
did. He got an out. So Andy Ibanez got an out on opening day as well. That's all that was, too, right? That's all that was.
Are you going to vote for Elmago in the All-Star game vote?
No, I am not.
Why not? He affects winning.
He has affected winning in 2 games.
100%, and something that any average level major league player could have done
How
as well.
often
That
do you-
doesn't cost $25 million a
Well,
year.
and again, in the totality of Javi Baez, he's a net negative for this team. All I'm saying is that he could have struck out again. He could have popped out to short. He could have grounded it right back to the pitcher. But instead, he lifted it to center field. Shallow center field, but still, it got the run in.
Burn says Carson Kelly has me bricked. I agree, 100%.
He's been
100% agree with you. Here on Mark M, I think, says it very, very succinctly. That was Javi Watch, though, today. Is Elmago back? That was Javi Watch today. Hey, good day. 1 for 3. Did have 2 strikeouts, had an RBI.
That's all he
Average
asked
up to
for.
a robust 188. That OPS just bursting at the seams at 364.
I mean, there's a couple players on the Tigers who we like a lot more that actually are doing worse right now. That's all
And
I'm
we're
saying.
gonna talk about it.
I know. That's all I'm saying.
Hot take. Javi will be above the Mendoza line at the end of the year.
Well, he's been above the Mendoza line every year of his career. So,
Barely. But
I think here on Mark M says it best before we go to the break
Yeah.
and get things pushing. They are paying Elmago a Neal Ruhl salary to give Flannel Sam performances.
that's funny. That's funny. Can't deny that.
And it's true. It's true. Tell them about the QB challenge, Memo.
The QB challenge presented by Shake Shack. If you could throw it on a rope, you could win 2 tickets to this year's home opener. All you got to do is scan that QR code above me, and you are in to win. And it's not one of those, sign up and we might pick you. You might be able to throw the ball. No, if you sign up right now, you are in the challenge and you have an opportunity to win 2 tickets. So the QB challenge presented by Shake Shack. Either scan that QR code or go to woodwardsports.com to sign up.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. Their food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit. A perfect takeout option featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York pizza, fresh salads, sides, and more. Check out their full menu and find the closest Soroki's near you at Sorokis.com. That's SAROKIS.com. Soroki's in Woodward Sports. Now that's crispy.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for DMAC. DMAC will be back in tomorrow. Of course, too, we have KG in the building, the Tone Master himself.
Yes.
And we have Spencer Raxter as well. I just wish you would say what you want to say instead of...
I'm saying what I want to say, Neal.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say.
Me and you, we're
Hey,
not
that's your
that much
voice,
different,
buddy.
you know?
That's a banger.
Uh,
That's a banger.
he's got some better songs than that.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
I see the glasses have made an appearance.
Yeah, I had to get him. I had to put him on there between the. I was coming in hot. I did a podcast interview today, so
that 516 was getting to you, huh?
No, it absolutely was. it absolutely was. You know what I want to do? I want to talk about the Red Wings first, because I know like everybody's lubed up and about the Tigers and stuff like that, and justifiably so. They're undefeated, man, and Friday is going to be incredible.
It is.
Can I talk about something first about the Red Wings?
Yeah.
I kind of want to, take a victory lap because I've been calling for it for about 2 years now. Because we could talk about Caitlin Clark being her, but we could talk about Simon Evanson being him.
Yep.
Because he is playing on the level of Mo Sider, as those guys look like they're going to be one of the best defensive tandems in the NHL. This is his stat line from last night. Over 20 minutes of ice time. He was +2, 1 hit, and no giveaways. And that's playing with Dan Petrie as his partner. So, like, this guy is everything that we asked of him. He is exactly what I expected him to be. He is big. He is physical. He uses his size.
He's
he
Swedish.
uses his length. He's Swedish. He's handsome. Like, what else can you want?
What else do you want, man?
The guy's a stud, man. I'm just so happy that Evanson, he's getting his time up here. He earned it. He went more than earned it, and he is blossoming into what we expected from him.
That was their biggest win in 8 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel as though it's not being treated as such.
Well,
there's still kind of a Passover. People are still kind of passive about the Red Wings. There's still some Red Wings disdain out there, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Help me figure it out.
I'm going to pull a Neal Ruhl, which I've learned from working with you for so long. Maybe they heard me when I yelled into the microphone. Obviously, I was more talking to Alex DeBrincat, but here's the thing. That was their biggest win. You said 8 years, most certainly. I was going to say in the Steve Yzerman era, but 8 years was 100% apropos, because right now, with that win, I think the Red Wings are set up to actually make the playoffs. Not sneak in, not one of those where they're not the favorites. I bet that their percentage to make it just like skyrocketed after last night's win, because that was one out of all the remaining games. That one at Tampa was either your most difficult or your second most difficult, with the game home against the Rangers coming up. And here's the thing as well. We were talking about the depth, the stars, how during this recent stretch of poor play, neither has really showed up to the level that they've all been capable of, save for maybe Patrick Kane, Lucas Raymond, Sider. But anywho, a lot of people have not been stepping up. You look at last night, first goal to make it 1-0. Patrick Kane goal assisted by Larkin and DeBrincat. You definitely love to see that, because if they're going to win some games down the stretch, that's how you'd like
And to be fair,
yeah.
as of late,
Yeah.
when you have seen them score,
Yeah.
they tend to be involved.
And it was
Absolutely.
a disgustingly stupid Patrick Kane goal. Like a backhand from
Oh, yeah.
10 feet away on an impossible angle that he did. It was nasty.
But then after that, after the Lightning tied the game, the next goal to put them ahead 2-1 was Robbie Fabry, a depth piece assisted by JT Comfer, another depth piece. Hey, absolutely. Hey, the depth is back. Oh. Speaking of the depth, who got the game winner? David Perron, another depth piece assisted by Mo Sider and JT Comfer.
Hey.
Welcome back, depth.
And what happened? What was the outcome of the game?
They won.
Whoa!
And then, of course, Lucas Raymond closed down the club with the empty netter. And then defensively, you mentioned it, Simon Evanson was great. Mo Sider played 25 minutes, and he was just what Mo Sider always is. Jake Wallman was back. Even Petrie wasn't a liability.
Jeff Petrie saved the game.
Right.
He saved the game.
Absolutely.
It was like he saved the game, arguably saved the season by stopping that puck from going into the net. So
Absolutely.
I've said a lot of bad things about Jeff Petrie on this show, and even worse in private.
He's the Javi of the Red Wings right now.
He came through when we needed him the most.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Alex Lyon in net, saved 34 out of 36.
Hey!
One of his better performances of the year, and he did it on the biggest stage because that's one of those games, even though Philly, they didn't win, they got a point. If the Red Wings were to have lost that one last night, I mean, think of how we're looking at them now with them winning versus what would have happened if they would have lost. If they would have lost, I would probably say that they would have been more likely than not to not make the playoffs. With that win and with a stretch of games coming up that does include the Rangers at home, that's going to be tough, but includes Buffalo at home, the Capitals at home, a home-and-home with Montreal, I'm thinking that they're more likely than not to make the playoffs, especially with how Philadelphia, they're careening their season right off the rails as we speak.
And speaking of that, and here's kind of my takeaway from it. And Catspot, thank you for providing the very comment I was seeking, and you came through with it. Detroit's play is too little, too late. They aren't likely catching Washington or Tampa Bay.
There you go.
They don't have to. They don't have to catch them. Because here's the facts of the matter.
Definitely
they
not
control
catching Tampa Bay.
their destiny right now. They control it. It's not up to Philadelphia. It's up to them. They hold their chair in the game. They will dictate what happens to them. They don't have to catch those two teams' cats. All they got to do is catch Philadelphia. That's all they got to do. And they're a point back with the game in hand. So if you do the things you're supposed to do, then you're going to the playoffs, man. And this was the path I was talking about yesterday when everyone was like shoveling dirt on the coffin. I was like, what, do you guys not look at the standings? Like, can you not comprehend math and see how this plays out?
Well,
it's right there in front of you. I
I
tried to help the people, Flannel, and I'm to talk to the people, and I can't reach them.
Fans were emotional.
It's frustrating.
Well, I had a mini shovel. I will say that. I did.
No, you were there. You had the boots on and everything. You had gloves on your hands, and you were shoveling.
Well, but here's the thing. As you said before, the Red Wings, they played a terrible stretch, but so did the Philadelphia Flyers. And as I've always said repeatedly on this show, Wake Up Woodward, when they've been going through it, there's definitely still time to right all of this and right every single wrong that the Red Wings have had this year. And a 3-10-2 stretch, that's rough. But they weren't out of it. And they're certainly not out of it after that. There's not a word big enough to describe what last night's win was. I mean, the biggest win in 8 years. That does kind of feel like it's falling on some deaf ears, but it's true. It's 100% true, and now I expect the Red Wings to make it. I do.
Drew K., Jeff Petrie makes one decent play, and you people excuse this bum? Clowns.
Don't excuse him, but
that's what they're doing with Javi right now.
He saved the game last night.
That's what Flannel's doing with Javi.
Drew K. It is what Flannel's doing.
Well,
with Javi.
but like with Javi, Jeff Petrie, he's not had a good year. He has certainly not had a good stretch, but he's done enough, and it's not because of him. He's done enough to not hurt the season so much that they're out of the playoff race right now. And if he can still make a huge play while the Red Wings are still in it, while they are alive, while they are with the game in hand, they basically have the last playoff spot. Bravo. If you can make a few plays down the stretch to help the Red Wings win games and make the playoffs, I will say congratulations. Great job, Jeff Petrie. Still not a great signing, still not a great season, but there's still time. And they're like I said, they have everything in front of them to make the playoffs. Right this whole ship.
Lewis says, why does Neal yell at us like I'm not on the same page as him and I understand math? Well, Lewis, I'm not yelling at you.
Yeah.
I'm yelling at the people that don't understand math.
Yeah.
Those are the people I'm yelling at. And I yell because I'm upset, and I'm upset because I try to educate, but yet I can't reach people. That's why I'm upset, if we're going to be honest about it.
Yeah.
I even tried putting the glasses on for you and everything, so everybody would see that I'm a softer soul. I'm learned, that maybe I know what I'm talking about, but they don't, and I don't get it. And even now, like, the people are just like, well, they're not going to make the playoffs. That's one win. Look, we can flip this. They took 3 points out of 4 at Tampa and at Florida. They did that.
They did.
With their season hanging in the balance.
Every single person in this chat, in this room, would have taken that. And it happened. And for the record, I understand, and I was kind of there myself, why people were down on the Red Wings. Here's the reality. I know in hockey you get a point for losing in overtime.
Like the Flyers did last night.
Absolutely. But, like,
again,
the reality was, for a 15-game stretch, the Red Wings won 3 games. It was hard to watch, but it didn't completely derail them. It derailed their comfortability. It derailed their lead or their spot where they're firmly in, but they can still make it. They just got to get hot for a few more games. I would say if you win 4 or 5, you're probably in. And that's very doable.
Dos Burrito, how do I reach these kids? I don't know.
How do I reach these kids?
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Okay.
How do I reach these kids?
Hoof-hearted. Every team hates their third defensive pairing like we hate Petrie.
That's a good point.
That's probably
fair.
true.
That's actually fair.
That's probably true. And every team, I'm sure, too, like for baseball fans, every team hates their $25 million a year shortstop that people think is playing good, and he's hitting 188 with a 360 OPS with 1 RBI.
How can I reach these kids?
No, I mean, in the case of Javi Baez, it does help that 3 out of the 4 starting pitching performances were lights out, and the bullpen has been lights out this whole year, which makes it so that one play can actually make a difference, 1 run. So I get that from that perspective. The totality of his season has still been bad, but when you're shutting out the opponent, which in both games Javi made big plays, that's all it really takes.
Catspot, the biggest game Detroit had was against Washington. They lost. No, the biggest game they had was last night against Tampa, and they won.
What is Cat's problem?
And don't get me wrong. At the time, even just getting a point against Washington, that seemed like a bigger deal than it does now. Because at the time, we weren't thinking about Philadelphia like the team that the Red Wings had to pass. But as they continue to lose, that's what happens.
Every game left is the biggest game of the year.
Absolutely.
Until the Rangers game.
Yeah.
And then when that game's over, the next one's the biggest game of the year. Because that's the way that it works. Biggest game in almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just cut the ish, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
DNCENT, we just need to get points at a 66% clip.
It's true.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's actually not super inaccurate. At least given the short sample size of what the rest of the season is. 66% and you're in. It's not that crazy.
So that's what it is. Brett MB, if Philly rights the ship, Red Wings still have to get past Washington. No, they don't. They control. What don't we understand about this? They control their fate right now.
Yeah.
There was nothing Philadelphia can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you think? Philadelphia's going to go undefeated the rest of the year? But even if they both do, Red Wings are in.
The Red Wings are in. Like, that's what it is, guys. That's all you want. You just want to be controlling your fate. Like, when you decide on a home security company, you are controlling your fate.
Absolutely. Playing defense like Simon Edvinson did last night. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
In your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Neal Ruhl here for Feldman Automotive. And remember, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage. That's right, 18 locations. So you know there's a Feldman Automotive dealership in your backyard. And that's not just Chevy or anything like that. They're all across brands. There's tons of different Feldman Automotive dealers. They're the best in the game at it, everybody. You know that is the case. Go to FeldmanAuto.com, find the location nearest you. Woodward Sports Network will be out there on Monday from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Keeping it pushing here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are off and running. Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac KG and Spencer Raxter. All of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. And it was an electric night last night. That certainly is the story. And the Red Wings got a huge, huge win. I think that was the biggest win of the night here in the city.
100%.
Yeah.
Not even close. Given where they're at in the season, given that, like we said, it's the biggest win for the Red Wings in 8 years, just cannot overstate how important that if you see the Red Wings in the playoffs this year, you're going to look back to that moment at Tampa Bay. That's one that you're not supposed to get, but they did.
Cat spot. Neal's argument is dumb because there's zero chance Detroit will win every game. And there's zero chance Philadelphia is going to win every game, right. Cat spot.
What is with him?
I don't know, man.
He's like that guy. You remember that guy we saw yesterday laying on his horn? Yeah. That's who he reminds me of.
No doubt. Spenny, you said that you watched more of that Iowa LSU game than you thought you were going to.
Yeah. Well, I was like looking up from Supernatural. It was on the TV at the gym, so I was watching that.
Supernatural.
That's why I watch when I'm on the treadmill. It's a great show.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
like
show.
It.
Shout out the Winchesters.
I wonder, is that the case with the people out there? Did the people out there? Did you watch more of that game than you thought you were going to? How about you, Flannel?
Yeah, it's the storyline as well. It's Iowa and Caitlin Clark getting their chance to get their get back on LSU, who had beaten Iowa in the national championship the year before. I mean, Caitlin Clark is the most popular women's basketball player ever, and she had probably her finest moment on one of the biggest stages. So there was a ton going. It wasn't just that it was the best, or certainly the best women's college basketball player right now, and maybe the best ever if they can win the title. It was the fact that it was the storyline thing. It's kind of a similar thing, although not quite the same, with why we're going to watch Purdue and NC State. It's like, 7'4" Zach Edey versus like 310-pound, he's not 275, 310-pound DJ Burns with feet of a dancer and post moves and can pass. It was like, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, the whole taunting at the end of the last season's national championship game and all that off the court stuff. Yeah. Meeting again. It was the perfect storm for it to be one of the most watched women's college basketball games ever. And it lived up to the hype. It was a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
How much you watch, KG?
I tuned in like probably a little after the third quarter started. And at first, they had a sizable lead, on LSU. So I was kind of thinking about turning back. I was watching the Tigers too. But I kept my eyes on it, and Caitlin Clark is all that they say she is. And what I didn't notice is that, of course, we know about the scoring, but the passing. She's a really good passer, man. I think she's
a great basketball player.
Yeah, just all around, man. She tied the tournament record for threes, 9 3-pointers made. I think she had some kind of career tournament assist record too, if I recall. But yeah, great game by her, and just great game all around. It was mostly competitive. But yeah, it was good to see. But
the thing I noticed, like bumping around, and this is on me because I'm an idiot for doing this, but bumping around social media while that game was going on / right when it was over. And this plays into it. You talked about how it was the perfect storm.
Yeah.
It was what I noticed. It was a perfect storm from a social media standpoint.
That's facts.
I've never seen so many political social media posts about a basketball game.
Yep.
I'd never seen that before. Like it was maybe like when LeBron plays. Because you know how that stuff works.
Yeah.
Like both sides that do that kind of pick and choose what they want to kind of reinforce with their base. They run their marketing play.
Yeah.
Like they run in their corporation, they run their marketing play.
Narrative.
Those kinds of tweets and posts are akin to the golden arches of McDonald's. You know, like it's what their thing is. It's just that's because I was wondering, like it can't just be and it is a lot to do with Caitlin Clark. It is because as we talked about before, she plays basketball like a man plays basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
She like her style of play, like Steph. She is the Steph of college basketball.
It's very Steph-like.
All of college basketball, men and women. She is the closest thing to Steph Curry because in the men's game, you're not seeing logo threes and stuff like that. You're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Like who's for real, Flannel? Like who's bombing away from 30 feet in the men's game? Nobody.
Yeah.
Not in college, no.
Who's doing it regularly? Caitlin Clark.
That kid from Duke was doing it.
Oh, Jared McCain.
Yeah.
But he didn't like that. Wasn't like his thing all year long.
Yeah.
Kind of. Not as much as Caitlin
Right.
Clark.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah. He laid too many bricks in the game versus NC State, though.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like
I mean,
invalidates
he
this
still
whole
had
season.
like 4 threes and went for 30-something.
Yeah,
points.
yeah. It wasn't. There were a lot of people on Duke who were more at blame for that than Jared McCain, but yeah.
Art Vandelay. LSU didn't show up for the national anthem, so I think that was where the political issue was. But they always do that.
Yeah.
My understanding was they're never out there for it.
Well, and for the record, if you think like a Kim Mulkey coach team would purposely not show up for the national anthem, that's where I'm like, I believe what Kim Mulkey said, that it was just part of their regular routine.
Yeah.
It's what they do.
Yeah,
so I just cruise past that.
People looking for a reason. You know that.
No doubt. But that added to the fire. You know what I'm saying? Like it was rare in that was one of the few events where everybody got a win. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, except the Angel Reese fans, but
The Angel Reese fans did not, but the Kim Mulkey haters did.
yeah.
You know, like the quote unquote villain of it all lost.
Yep.
And I don't know why she was the villain, like why Angel Reese was a villain. I don't know. She's a great player too.
The racist one.
Absolutely. The racist people got a dub, KG, yesterday.
They did.
The political people got a dub. And
the Pistol Pete crowd lost yesterday.
the Pistol Pete crowd did lose. But you see how many winners there were?
Yeah.
Like, that's not usually the case.
No, and to be honest, I was a winner last night as well. I'll just give my personal example. I like Caitlin Clark. I'm not going to say that I'm like a fanboy or anything like that, but she is exciting to watch, and certainly when it comes to women's college basketball, there's nobody I'd rather watch probably in history than her.
Yeah.
I didn't want people to say if LSU would have won that, like, oh, you see, Caitlin Clark can't beat Angel Reese. Maybe Angel Reese is better. And I know that like serious people wouldn't have that take, but some people would. And you know it's true. Angel Reese is a phenomenal college basketball player and probably will have a nice career in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is different. Caitlin Clark is skilled. I'm not saying Angel Reese isn't, but Caitlin Clark is as skilled as any women's college basketball player playing right now, more skilled. And that's what we saw. That's why I'm glad that I don't think Caitlin Clark needed it for her perception or her legacy, but the fact that she got that win last night and played so well, that doesn't hurt.
Spenny would say yes, she does.
Yeah.
Well, for her legacy as being the GOAT college basketball player. And when Spenny first said it, I'll admit I didn't like it, but then I thought about it and you made a good point.
It's the truth.
But yeah, it wouldn't be the best look, even if you ball out, and I'm talking to Caitlin Clark, if your Iowa team, when you're considered maybe the best ever, lost in the Elite Eight, lost to LSU twice.
Yeah.
Detroit Dabber sums it up pretty well, I think. There were so many factions of people for a damn basketball game. And that's what it was. And my overriding message with all this is because I heard people around town like saying the media pushes this narrative. No, they don't. This is us.
Yeah.
This is what we want. This is what we live for. And that was the point of the post. Like, look around social media and the posts and everything like that. All these factions that I'm talking. I'm tired of people saying, well, the media pushes this narrative. No, you do.
Yeah.
This is what you want. Media doesn't stay in business by not giving you what you want.
It's true.
And it was kind of sad. Like, and look, we know, right? Like, I know where we are, like, as people and stuff like that. It was kind of sad to me to bump around social media and to just see, like, all these different factions of people. This is what they all wanted.
Yeah. I mean, but the reality is that's how people are going to get into women's college basketball. it benefited the sport. I'll tell you
Absolutely.
that. It 100% benefited the sport. So if you had to push some narratives, and we eat it all up, I will admit that. There was, I mean, as you said, there's the Caitlin Clark fans, there's the Angel Reese fans, there's the I'm sure in a vacuum there'd be a lot of people who are Angel Reese fans and not Kim Mulkey fans, but Kim Mulkey's her coach.
Tell you what, I'm a fan of both of them.
Oh, no, Kim.
Who's more?
Angel Reese for sure.
Oh,
Really? I figured you would have leaned towards Kim Mulkey.
Kim
a little.
Mulkey, she's nice. She's a hot old bitch, to tell you that. I shoot straight. That's all I'm saying.
Right, I am not mad at you.
Yeah, Spenny keeps it real,
Stand
everybody.
on
And that
business,
point
man.
guard from LSU. Whew.
Oh,
Mulkey should have considered some adjustments, perhaps.
Nobody could have guarded Caitlin,
But
man.
try something.
Yeah,
Maybe double her.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what I'm
double
saying.
her.
right.
Like, that's-
One-on-one at the top of the key.
That's what I would do probably.
Like
That's-
she was 35 points in before Mulkey made any kind of
Right.
adjustment
For
at
sure.
all.
Oh, I should probably stop her.
Oh my god.
oh boy, what'd you see?
Let's go Red Wing Sparty comment in the chat.
Go ahead, read it,
He
Spenny.
said more like Kim Milky, right, Spenny?
Oh,
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I would what are you gonna do to stop Caitlin Clark? You can't really double team her. That's really all you can try.
A lot of those shots were contested. She just made them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she can pass too, though.
Yeah.
That's the. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have Caitlin Clark passing to a teammate, but if it's a wide open teammate because she's getting doubled, I mean, there's not much you can do. She's the best she's the best in in women's college basketball for a reason.
No, she is, and it's wild to me that she isn't going to come back for another year because she would make more. She'd make more playing college basketball, I think, than she would in the WNBA. I'd like
probably.
to know the why. I hope a reporter asks her the why on that decision.
Yeah.
I think she should have stayed. I understand if you want to be considered someday the all-time best women's basketball player, you've got to dominate the WNBA. I understand that, but I think one more year at Iowa, I don't know. I think
She has another year of eligibility?
Yeah, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Yeah,
One
she's
more.
only been there for actual 4 years. No red shirt. There's the COVID red shirt. So yeah, she's got
So
another
she's
year.
gonna go back for sure, right?
she already declared.
No, she declared.
Oh, she declared
She
for the
declared.
draft already?
Yeah, she
Okay.
did.
It's only gonna help the WNBA though. Would you consider this a renaissance for the women's game? All around?
She's the most influential women's athlete maybe ever.
Yeah. But the WNBA was already kind of growing in popularity right before her, and then we have this now. Like I said, do you think that this is taking the women's game to the next step? Is it starting to grow in
We
popularity?
can answer that. Are you going to watch when she gets drafted by Indiana?
I may watch some games. But that's just
Then
me,
the
though.
answer's
That's-
yes.
That's not, that's not the whole, but
Flannel, are you going to watch?
If it's on. I don't know if I'm going. It's not going to be must-see TV. I think the reason why it is must-see TV right now is because it's the college game, it's the NCAA tournament. Maybe
There's the ancillary stuff that was affiliated with the
Absolutely.
if she started doing the same thing in the WNBA, it's going to attract some eyes.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That's undeniable.
Does Steph become feminist hater number one if he beats Caitlin Clark after beating Sabrina Ionescu in back-to-back three-point contests?
He might.
I'm not falling for that one,
I'm
Spenny.
just saying. I'll tell you what. I'll shoot you straight. I'm not gonna watch.
Well, I know you. Well, no, but you talked tough like this before yesterday too, and look at you.
What did
You
I
were
say?
tapped
What did I
in.
say yesterday? I'll watch it if it's on at the gym, and I watched it when it was on at the gym. I went home, then I watched the Tigers.
Yeah.
If the Tigers were on at the gym, I would watch that.
Yeah, I had the Tigers on the whole time I was watching that game.
But you were tapped in.
Yeah, but I didn't. Like I said I did exactly what I said yesterday. If it's on at the gym, I'm gonna watch it.
So when she's in the WNBA, if it's on at the gym, you'll watch it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it's in front of me, but they don't play much.
Will you buy a Caitlin Clark jersey?
No.
Damn. You wouldn't wear
If you
one?
were, would you get an Iowa one or whatever team she gets
An
drafted
Iowa
by?
one for sure. Yeah, you got to.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to know, man. But yeah, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Danny G, I'll never sit down and watch women's basketball. People did last night, Danny G.
Yeah.
They did.
That's fair.
Spencer Raxter watched more than he thought he was going to watch.
And even if you don't, just don't take away from the women's game. Let's stop hating on the women. They're just as good. I'm not saying they're better. I'm not saying that.
KG,
I'm not saying
quit
that.
while you're ahead, brother.
Just saying.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Ryan's reaction. Someone that knows better than me, Diana Taurasi or Caitlin Clark?
Easily Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, she's a beast.
Easily.
She's like the
Caitlin
Kobe
Clark
of the
hasn't
women's
played
game.
up second in the WNBA yet.
That's fair.
Diana Taurasi is arguably the best WNBA player of all time.
She's the Kobe of the WNBA.
Yeah, I think Caitlin Clark will be, man. When it's all said and done, I think she will be.
She very well could be, but
All right.
she's got to do it first.
I know who's goated in the pet food game.
And that
in
is
the pet
Premier
supply
Pet
game.
Supply. Because Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences, the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply, give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You tired of the same old Detroit sports wearables? We got you covered. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. We got a new, since everyone's back on the Red Wings bandwagon, we got the new Red Wings gear out there for you. Are you a Brad Holmes guy?
I am.
We got the Brad Holmes guy t-shirt. I got to get on the website and cop that one, by the way. Again, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. We've got it all covered. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, and Sam Flannel, and KG, and Spencer Raxter. Make sure you catch Spenmo with Easy. Shout out Woodward Heavyweights.
Shout out. 5
to 7 coming
Great
up
show.
here today. We are going to talk some Detroit Tigers as well. Don't forget, too, it's Tuesday. Our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce, will join us in just a little bit, which is good because I'm going to weave that into the Tigers discussion.
All right.
Because I want to talk about Casey Mize. He's on the bump today, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Spenny's guy. He's locked into it. He's ready to
Hopefully a
go.
good outing.
So we're going to talk with Dr. Pierce about that, the nature of the Tommy John surgery, all that. I want to know if the elbow pain I feel when I play catch with the kids is that,
Should you
the
get Tommy
same.
John?
Should I get Tommy John? We'll discuss that. But Casey Mize on the bump, but it was a very nice win for the Detroit Tigers. And look, I'm not going to disparage wins and complain about wins or qualify wins, because here's the deal with it. And I know I talked with this about Spencer, where I said at some point you do have to beat the AL East and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that point is not until you play them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a little ways out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You take it, you feast on some of these bottom feeder teams in your first few games. I mean, you've got 2 more against the Mets, then you play Oakland. That's set up for a great start, and so far 4-0. They're guaranteed a winning record going into their opening day home game, and we would have all taken that. We would have taken 4-2, but the Tigers look like they might get even better than 4-2. And what I like about this team is that there's one thing that you never want to do as an MLB team. You never want to waste great starting pitching.
Yeah.
And the Tigers, they were teetering for 3 games on possibly wasting great starting pitching, but they didn't. I mean, when you look at it, Tarek Skubal, Jack Flaherty, and Reese Olson, they combined for 17 2/3, 1 earned run. We're not going to talk about Kenta Maeda. But
You don't have to.
no,
because they won the game.
You certainly don't have to. But in those games, they got the timely hits or the timely runs that the bullpen prevented the White Sox and then the Mets from getting, because one of the reasons they were able to still win those games is because their bullpen has been absolutely dominant. 17 innings, 1 earned run. It's beautiful. It's immaculate. It's stupendous. But that was what we thought was going to be one of the strengths of the team. We thought the bullpen was going to be a strength, and we thought the starting pitching had a good chance of being really good. It was contingent on some things like Tarek Skubal staying healthy, Jack Flaherty refining his form from 2021 and 2019, Reese Olson showing that last September wasn't a fluke. And so far, at least in the first their respective first starts, they performed well. And then you look at it. You can say that the bats haven't always come through, and it's like in 3 of the 4 wins, it wasn't great. But I mean, even last night, for example, and I'm going to kind of borrow a take from our very own Matt Broder, because he said it on the Wake Up Woodward show, and I thought it was a great take. And Matt Broder, when it comes to baseball season, is certainly a ball knower. I mean, last night, even in the 10th inning, to get the first couple of runs, obviously Spencer Torkelson started out on second because, you know, the ghost man on second in extra innings. He was moved over by Riley Green, and then Mark Canha got hit by a pitch, which, getting hit by a pitch in that situation, you think that's a good thing, but it also means that the double play is back in play. But what happened? Because Parker Meadows was at first base, he pinch ran for Mark Canha. And, by the way, A.J. Hinch decided to hit Colt Keith for Jake Rogers. That meant there was speed at the plate and speed at first base. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? That scenario played itself out, because Colt Keith hit a ground ball to a second that was bobbled, because he knew that it was Joey Wendell. He knew that in order to turn that double play and end the inning with no damage, that he would need to hurry. And by the way, when that ball was bounding toward him, Parker Meadows was speeding right past him. And what did he do? He bobbled. Run scores. That was another stroke of A.J. Hinch making the right play. And then, of course, Gio Urshela got a infield single to load the bases. Javi Baez comes up to bat, your favorite player, Neal, hits a shallow fly ball to center field. But because Parker Meadows is at third base, because A.J. Hinch ran for him, Parker Meadows is able to score. So,
A.J. Hinch has been in his bag.
He absolutely has. And that's the thing. The Tigers have gotten the runs when they've needed to. You look at even the first game. They got the 1 run off of a Andy Ibanez sac fly. In the third game, they got the game-winning RBI single in the 9th inning, which was another case of A.J. Hinch pinch hitting Andy Ibanez for Parker Meadows, who was 0 for 4 in that game. So the starting pitching has been brilliant 3 out of the 4 times. Their bullpen has been brilliant, and the offense has done just enough. And hey, in the game where the starting pitching wasn't brilliant, they scored 7 runs. So all that adds up to a 4-0 start, and I couldn't have asked for anything more.
See, here's the deal. In the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, I just saw it, and it just rolled by. So my apologies for not being able to attribute. Basically, they said, hey, Torque, Green, and Colt Keith, try hitting the ball. The Tigers, though, are 4-0, with Torkelson hitting 176, Riley Green hitting 067, and Colt Keith hitting 083.
Exactly.
Talk about it. You do not have to apologize for it. This is why, see, like, you guys know how I do this. I break this up into, like, sample groups, because games happen in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. They absolutely do. Now, baseball is a little more connected to previous performances than most, but for the most part, games happen in a vacuum. The Tigers are 4-0 with Green, and look, make no mistake, for this team to be good, Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson have to be their stars.
100%. Yeah.
They have to be their stars. They're 4-0 with them being largely invisible. They're 4-0.
Yeah.
4 games.
And you couldn't have asked for more than that.
You can't, and that's why those are the kind of things, Flannel, when those things happen, you get over. Yes. And when you get over, you're in a good spot.
Sure.
And when you're in a good spot, ... you know what happens from there. The early season test, they have passed.
Yeah.
Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Okay, did the Guardians do that too? Yeah, for the most part. They went to Oakland. They won a road series as well. But when you have these 3 guys hitting like this and you're 4-0, Flannel, that is huge. That's found money.
Well, and here's the thing, too. slumps happen. When it happens at the beginning of the year and your numbers look so bad because you hadn't had a chance to make more of a sample size, it looks a little bit more glaring. But what makes it look less glaring is the fact that it hasn't mattered. They're still 4-0. And one of the reasons, like I said, they are 4-0 because their starting pitching was brilliant in 3 of the 4 games. Their bullpen has been brilliant. And guys like Mark Canha, one of the offseason signings, he's been their best hitter so far. You got Gio Urshela, 8 at-bats, 3 hits. You got Andy Ibanez, 2 game-winning RBIs. You've got Kerry Carpenter with a .455 on-base percentage and a home run. He's a guy who stepped up, who you expected to step up, and has actually played very well. And last but not least, Carson Kelly with 5 of the biggest RBIs on the season. The RBI in the second game to tie the score at 6, and the game-winning RBI in extra innings, and then that mammoth home run to make the score 5-0, the mammoth 3-run home run to provide the necessary insurance to take the Tigers' 10th inning lead from 2-0 to 5-0. So that's kind of how baseball is. Sometimes players are cold and sometimes players get hot. And if you want to look at past performances as an indicator of what certain players might do, Spencer Torkelson had a damn good year last year. It wasn't perfect. I'd like that on-base percentage to be up a little bit higher, but he had 30 home runs and 90 RBIs.
Which was all I asked for.
Absolutely.
Give me somebody to get 30 home runs.
Absolutely. Riley Green, the only issue with him last year is health, and it's a big issue, but when he played, he was your team leader in on-base percentage. And then you look at Jake Rogers even, another guy who isn't hitting yet. He had I would say, surprising good year last year, which he had over 20 home runs and an OPS of, I think, like 730 or something like that. So those guys, you expect them to right the ship. And while they haven't been hitting, and also included in Parker Meadows and Colt Keith, Tigers are 4-0.
They absolutely are. When we come back, we're going to talk to our guy, Dr. Jeffrey Pierce, and the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. I want to talk about Casey Mize a little bit. He had Tommy John. Yeah. He's on the bump tonight. He had a great spring. So I want to discuss that. I want to discuss why my elbow hurts when I play catch with my kids. All of it. Do I need Tommy John? We're gonna ask Dr. Jeffrey Pierce that when we come back. But we're live at the Planet Fitness Studios, everybody. You guys know what it is. The best gym in the gym game today. Inflation's all the talk, right? Planet Fitness still $1 down, $10 a month. Still for the black card, $1 down, $24.99 a month. Still, man, that's what it is. And they're the best gym. This is a no-lose proposition for you guys. I've been a member for over 3 years at Planet Fitness. I'll never be a member at another gym. It's just the way it's going to be. Planet Fitness is a part of the routine. It can be a part of the routine for you as well. Pull in the parking lot. There's over 50 of them in Metro Detroit alone. Join there. Jump on the computer. Go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
The new Glorious Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll, now with diamonds, constantly pushing to create the best Canna experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flower with only the highest terps, making the best better. Glorious Cannabis, check us out at your local retailer or gloriouscanna.com.
Glorious
All right, back at it here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Welcome to hour number 2 of the show. Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. We have KG, Spencer Raxter in the building as well. Speaking of in the building, our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce, the medical director of the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, is here in the house. I like these segments. We get an opportunity to talk about the sports science, I guess you could say, behind the athletes. But Dr. Pierce, I do have to pick your brain on this because Casey Mize, and great timing, Casey Mize pitching today. It's like we thought about this, you know. Had the Tommy John surgery, had a back surgery while he was recovering from the Tommy John as well. We see this all the time now. The Tommy John that used to kind of be a death sentence for pitchers, it's not anymore. And we saw Casey Mize have a great spring. The fans are excited about him. What other than science? Which I guess that is the answer. But what changed with Tommy John surgery?
You know, we've talked about, first of all, Tommy John surgery, we know is the name after one of the most famous players, Dr. Jobs, who's a famous orthopedic surgeon out in California. This is where it all came from. It all started. He started doing more minimally invasive, kind of return, how to, tie down that ligament. So what it is, I don't know if you want me to go ahead and explain. It's on the inside of the elbow.
Right.
So it's the ulnar collateral ligament. So it's on the ulnar, which is the inside of your arm when you're putting your palm out. So that's the anatomical look when you.
Okay.
This is the anatomical positioning when you talk about relative to what part of your body. So it's always, ulnar is medial, so it's on the inside versus lateral on the outside. So it's the ligament there that takes a lot of strain. So a lot of doctors have worked, like we've talked before, the science, where is the science? We're doing more minimally invasive, the recovery. Right before is like you have instability of your elbow if this ligament isn't fixed. So now we're fixing it with minimally invasive technique, which is getting more to recovery. When you disrupt less of the tissues, you're seeing better recovery. And then there's that secret sauce we always talk about, which is helping these guys. I mean, you're talking about peptide treatment, regenerative stuff. I'm not exactly sure what he had done, calling it the secret sauce that I keep referring to, but that's what's going on. I mean, these guys are coming back. The science of medicine is going crazy with regenerative. We're starting to uncover things that are going on in your body that is naturally healing. We're starting to get that outside with an enhancement. So we talk about like peptides, and we've talked about exosomes, we've talked about PRP, we've talked about stem cell. All these things, the studies are catching up that these are enhancing the recoveries. You're strong, it's a stronger recovery. There's thickening quicker. Things that used to take 6 to 9 months are now closing in on 4 to 6 months. And it's the understanding the rehab that you do. Right, so the rehab team, the training team, understanding what exactly we need to do to recover. It's not just like, okay, you're healed, you're physiologically healed, it should be strong, it should be tight to the bone, but then it's the rehab of it, which is huge.
In the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Wyatt Bear says, so it's not deer antler spray. Remember the deer antler spray thing? Those were good times.
Yeah, and the pet rock, I remember that too. So the secret sauce is not deer antlers, but it may, look, a lot of what we learn is out in the jungles, out in the forest. There's secret sauces that they get from plants and things like that. So there's a lot of truth to it. There's a lot of money being spent to understand why these things work.
Talking with Dr. Jeff Pierce here on Tuesday, as we always do. And as we talked about, the medical director for the Michigan Sports and Spine Centers. Baseball is a totality, right? That's something where with the Tigers, we've talked about, can they stay healthy? Riley Green, can he stay healthy? And I guess what I'm asking you is the nature of baseball. It's not this physically demanding sport in there. You're talking about collisions and things like that, like football. It's more the day-to-day, and I think it resonates more with me, certainly as I get older, because I go out and play catch and throw the football around with my kids, and I think I need Tommy John when I get done. And, just the day-to-day, the grind that these guys have to go through from a health perspective, is it a bit underrated? Because I feel like it is.
So I've taken care of every type of athlete there is, right? All the way to cricket. And baseball, I got put up against the wall from one of our local celebrity athletes who's a famous baseball pitcher. Because at that time I was taking care of women's football back when the danger was here. And we're going back to 2000. Arena football players, basketball. And I did admit baseball may be a little bit on the softer side.
Okay.
And he put me into the wall and said, how soft is this? But to be honest, it's like, why can they play 5 to 7 games a week? Think about if it flipped. We're playing baseball once a week, football 5 to 7 times a week.
Eesh.
It is taxing, right? So it's almost like, can they recover? Are they recovering? What are they doing to recover? The amount of activity that they exude during a game is nowhere near what football is doing. So there's energy elements that change it. So baseball is more of overuse. Like a Tommy John's almost like an overuse injury, or diving for a ball, or an unfortunate thing. But for the most part, there isn't collisions. There isn't that activity level. So to answer your question, I don't want to say they're soft, because they are unbelievable athletes. They do train way differently than they did in 2000. So they're trying to be more proactive, more preventative, but they're also putting it to another level for themselves, right? Even the batting, back in the day, Allen, who carried a much bigger bat versus these little bats they're doing now, it's this short stroke swing now that puts it out of instead of that big, huge Hank Aaron swing. So there's just different sciences. It's velocities. It's how to throw, throwing faster. There's a lot of throwing mechanism injuries, which is probably the most prominent part of it. Back injuries are unfortunate. You shouldn't really have a back, like golf, you have more of a twisting motion. Baseball, you do have a twisting motion, but it should be like a log roll motion, not a real pivoting motion on the spine for the most part, depending how you're turning. Your mechanics, the analysis of the mechanics. I feel like I'm rambling right now. But,
You're good, man.
It gets down to pure science. I've just been watching on my Instagram because of what I do and what's going on with the show. I get all these workouts, and I'm really, in fact, I may bring a couple in that we can show some of these workouts where it's the right workout to do. Like there was a workout I just sent my kid that's like, why are we getting so many injuries? Yeah, as a young child, they're power. They just want to power lift and everything.
Right, gains. It's about gains, bro.
About gains,
yeah,
exactly.
That's what my 14-year-old son.
Right.
I need gains, Dad.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you gaining? What are you talking about? So it's like, they're measuring their biceps, they're measuring their chest on a weekly basis. But there was one young teenager who put out a video on Instagram saying it's about the functional part, it's about the explosive part, it's about the small stuff. Because what you do, and I'm not saying this is with the Tigers, but it is to some degree, when you start building up too much muscle like basketball, you said, don't work out, you're going to ruin your ligaments and you're going to overpower. There's some truth to it, because when the muscle becomes so big and your ligaments are the weakest link, you're creating too big, unbalanced weights. So everything has to catch up. So when you talk about like the ankles are probably the most underrated, forgotten part of your body that's the most important, because everything comes from the ankle and balance. So when you start talking about weak ankles in basketball, in my day, we always did the walkies on the outside to strengthen it, and now it's the explosiveness. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point
it's become twitch fiber now, like fast twitch.
Fiber is becoming a common term, where I started this thing in 1996, that I want my athletes to have fast twitch. And then that was explosive out of the block, or box jumping, or the ladder work. The ladder work is underrated. The
quickness
footwork.
Instead of speed.
Quickness, speed. But speed is important, but a lot of games it's that first step. Like lacrosse and my son plays, that first step makes a difference. Football, you're looking at, there was a pattern that you don't hit your first step, you don't open up that 1 to 2 yards, because everybody's so good in football now, you've got to have like that split second of difference. So baseball, it's a different kind of sport. There's a lot more injuries. And I don't know if we're just not playing through those injuries, but we definitely have a better science, more prevention, and more understanding of what's going on.
Dr. Pierce,
Rambling.
yeah, no, that's all really good information. Obviously, one of the biggest sporting events last night was the Iowa LSU women's college basketball game, and there's a lot of outside stuff that kind of made the game more popular and more compelling. But how does I would say an athlete at that level playing in that type of a game, what kind of place do they have to go to where they can block all of that out and focus just on the game?
And kind of like a follow-up to that, too, because we talked about Casey Mize and the Tommy John.
Right.
You know, the mental, I guess it's an overarching mental side of sports we've touched on in the past, but to trust it, to deal with that kind of pressure and everything, with all those millions of viewers that they had, arguably for the first time, the highest viewed, how do you deal with that?
So is there an answer? There isn't an answer. There's toughness, right? So Mize is a little different because Mize has to feel confident with his body himself. Mm-hmm. He's not dealing with the critics of the world.
Right.
You know, we all have to admit it. You know, LSU was not the favorite child last night, and Iowa was. And she took on a lot, but it's funny, like, I deal with young athletes. She is an idol to a lot of young athletes, the LSU team. It's not, you know, cultural or whatever. I think it's just, how do you get through it? You saw her breakdown. I think you're referring to, like,
in the postgame,
like, I got to be tough, but I'm still human. I think we all forget that these are human beings. There is feelings. There is natural.
Well, no, Dr. Pierce, if I watch them on TV, then they're not human.
Well, exactly, because they're actors.
Right.
No, they're not actors. It is, and that's why sports psychology is becoming so important now, because there is more criticism. Before, you know, back in the day of the Red Wings and stuff like that, you just had a reporter in the locker room for 5 minutes, he put it out. Mm-hmm. Now you're on, you know, everybody's filming you or doing something or watching you, or, you know, like Brady's being watched no matter where he goes and things put out. But you have to be mentally strong. You have to know who you are. And a lot of times people forget, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say self-pity or self-negativity, but a lot of times a true athlete is their own biggest critic. So at the end of the day, like myself, I'm my own biggest critic.
Right. We all are.
I don't need to be told I've gained weight. I know when I've gained weight. I know when I'm a step slow. I know when I'm having a good show versus a bad show. You guys know it.
Right.
You know, but to start hearing it from people that you care about or don't really care about, it depends on your personal makeup. And sometimes that's the limiting factor that doesn't get you to the next level. These kids being able to shut out, they can get to that next level. The coach for LSU, you know, she brought up, you know, the bullying and whatever she brought from the LA Times, and she's right when you take a step back. And that writer didn't mean it, I think, in the text that it was observed in. But again, it gets back to your point. They are human.
Human beings, man.
They're, you know, like they say, you know, I was with the Red Wings, I was with the best players, and my friends would say, how do they go to the bathroom? How do they wake up in the morning? They wake up just like us. No, they've done something a little bit extra in their life to make them a difference. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got time for a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the viewers have a question for you here. Dad with Tourette's says, can someone ask the doc why Achilles injuries aren't more prevalent in baseball, at least at the highest levels? All the sudden sprinting being done, you know, when you're kind of, you know, you spend a lot of time in baseball stationary, which is actually a great question. Why aren't they more prevalent?
Because there's not too much explosiveness in baseball. When you're running bases, you know, like your body clicks in. A lot of times Achilles injuries, except for the football one, I forget the player for San Francisco, but that was like boom, explosive. So I think they're doing, like we see them all doing dynamic warm-ups in the outfield. I think there's just better care, but there's not that explosiveness always with baseball that you'll see those kind of Achilles injuries. So, but I think overall goes back to our first questions. The activity level, the contact, the collision is always a little bit less in baseball. So you're having different types of things. You know, can we say that the trainers for baseball work more on your Achilles a little bit? Maybe on the steps of the dugout, they're stretching their Achilles the whole time. But I haven't really proven that theory.
Well, Dr. Pierce, as always, we appreciate the time. Dr. Jeff Pierce, the medical director at the Michigan Sports and Spines Center. As always, we appreciate your time, your expertise. So I don't need Tommy John after, like when I'm getting that burning right there after throwing the foot, right here.
Well, pull your sleeve up so everybody can see what you're pointing to.
Oh yeah. So like
you're pointing to the outside, which is the opposite side. So there's something called tennis elbow and golfer's elbow. You have something closer to tennis elbow.
No, that sounds soft.
Which is
that sounds soft.
All right,
Dr. Pierce, come on.
Tommy,
make it sound tougher.
All right. So it's a
ligament overuse.
Flexor issue in the most powerful part of your elbow to your wrist.
Yeah.
That muscle, that big oversized muscle, you have a little tendonitis in there that can easily be resolved without Tommy John surgery.
Okay, so I just need to stop bringing so much heat. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you're probably overpowering that muscle imbalance you created in those forearms. For what reason they're large, I will not get into.
All right, well,
get you some Bengay, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I don't need to come see you at the Michigan Sports and Spine Center for this one, right? Not for this one.
If you pay attention to it for 2 weeks and it's not better, you should probably come in.
I will do that. I will do that.
Because those are the nagging ones that continue. Do you golf?
I do, yep.
Yeah,
a lot.
So it would probably disrupt your golf game if you...
Well, I would never risk it, like, around a golf game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say, hey, kid, sorry, Dad can't come play catch with you right now. We got the Monday Night Men's League. Can't do it.
You could do the Joey Kosar method. When he had to rest one arm or one hand when he played racquetball, he just became better with his opposite hand.
There you go.
You need to start practicing your left.
All right, Dr. Pierce, appreciate you. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, absolutely. Dr. Jeff Pierce, everybody, Michigan Sports and Spine Center. And tell them about Swiss Insurance.
Absolutely. I got good news and I have bad news.
What's the bad news?
The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news is Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Hey everybody, when it comes to chicken sandwiches, I got the #1 seed. That's right. It's the Shake Shack Chicken Shack Sandwich. And guess what? You can try the Chicken Shack Sandwich for free. That's right. $10 purchase. Grab a shake and a crispy crinkle fry while you're at it, and your Chicken Shack will be free. Just use the code Woodward. And guess what, everybody? You can do it in person when you walk up to the cash register. You can do it online from your computer, or you can download the Shake Shack app today. It's very, very simple, guys. Promo code Woodward. Get a free Chicken Shack sandwich with a $10 purchase. Don't lose money. If you don't take advantage of this, you're losing money. Come on, everybody. Let's get it together. Get that Shake Shack app on your phone today. Use promo code Woodward. Get a free Chicken Shack sandwich with a $10 purchase. Promotion available in all 7 Metro Detroit area locations at Shake Shack. Keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Sam Flannel, of course, KG in the house, Spencer Raxter as well. It is a Rest in Peace Tuesday. We'll get there. Let's do that about 12:25.
Sure.
Right, we'll do that. We'll do that in about 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Sounds good.
If that is cool with everybody. But I did want to I did want to pick up the Tigers discussion, and I want to just going back to what we were talking about with Spencer earlier. What if they're 6-0 on opening day?
Stop it.
What for KG, for real? Because I like to do that on this show. Nobody ever does this in Detroit sports talk. What if they are?
Knock on wood. But
You guys know, because opening day, it can be a shit show, even when they stink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's over the last few years, it's been about only the partying and little about the baseball. But this year, it's probably 50-50.
What if they're 6-0?
I guess the question I would ask, and Spencer, you're more experienced with this than myself, do you think it would make a big difference in the party atmosphere?
No.
And I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
That
Party gonna be there.
I think it does for me.
I mean, either way, the party's.
Well, no, the party's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think, like, even for me, it just puts me in a better frame of mind. Like, I'll have an extra beer. You know, like I'll have an extra bourbon. You know what I'm saying? Because my team's 6-0. Well, you're the exclusion, not the usual. All right, Spencer, please stop. Okay, we know what you're about. We know how you're built. We know what your goals are when you go down there. It's destruction, self-destruction, liquor destruction,
Property destruction,
property destruction, law destruction. Morality destruction.
All the destructions.
You're not who we're talking. Please recuse yourself from this discussion.
Right.
All right, let me talk to this side of the room. All right, let me do this. No, but I think it does. To me, it adds to the vibe.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. As somebody who's looking at it more from a baseball standpoint, because we're going to be there no matter what. We're going to be having fun no matter what. If the Tigers somehow go into their home opener 6-0, then you can have a real discussion and not laugh about it, how they could have double-digit wins before they have a loss. Because their first series is against the A's, a team that is not trying, a team that's probably going to win somewhere in the 50s when it comes to MLB games. And I understand that baseball is you win every series two out of 3, you're the best team in baseball. So you don't have to sweep.
So all you got to do is win 66% of your game.
Then exactly. But so losses are going to happen. But if they can somehow do this, you can think, why can't they sweep the A's at home?
Yeah.
Why can't they start 10-0? And then after that, it's a little bit aggressive. But yeah, we're talking about potentially the Tigers having one of their best starts record-wise in franchise history. That's in play. If they start the series, if they go on the road 2 series in a row and come out 6-0, staring at an A's series at home, you're talking about, can the Tigers have one of their best starts in franchise history? This Tigers team that even the most optimistic say, I don't know, 86 wins, win kind of a crappy division, that would be incredible. That would be taking full advantage of starting out your season with bottom feeders. That never happens where you actually take full advantage.
Crazy clown. It takes a good team to go 6-0 on the road in the cold. Even if these teams aren't the best, that's what they are playing like right now. And no, that's for me, like you guys know, I weigh wins on the road more than probably any regular sports fan does. Because it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Mike O, and this is where I will bring Spencer back into the discussion. I'll let you answer this one, Spenny. Mike O, hey Neal, de facto Spenny. If the Tigers are undefeated and win, we flip some cop cars on Friday.
I don't know about that.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Say that for the Lions Super Bowl.
I've never been arrested. I'm not trying to get arrested on opening day. I'm trying to have a good time.
Yeah, but if you do that, you only have to not be the slowest one.
That's true.
That is true.
I could trip somebody.
You could. Throw somebody to the cops.
That's a good point.
Would you flip a cop car?
Yeah, I mean.
At 7-0. Open on
Not
Friday.
7-0, no.
On Friday.
If there was a championship involved, probably.
You're not committing to it, but you're not excluding it either.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Depends on how drunk he gets.
That's fair. But you would flip a cop car, though.
Depends on the situation.
Lions Super Bowl.
Yes, 1,000%. Easily. By myself.
Low key, I don't want to go outside. It's win the Super Bowl. It's gonna be bad.
When the Lions win the Super Bowl, the city's gonna burn to the ground.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
a lot
insane.
of people gonna go bye that night.
Let's go Red Wing Sparty. Let's flip some IRS cars Friday, Spenmo.
Yeah, hey,
win, lose, or draw. You're down for that.
Draw, flipping IRS cars. Yeah, those bastards. I'll flip their car any day of the week. Be 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, and I'll flip an IRS car.
Oh man, Crazy Clown. What if they're 36-4 instead of 35-5? Would you flip one then?
No, I'm not flipping a cop car unless a championship is involved.
He wanted to talk all tough, and then we come back over the top and look at him now.
Come on.
I'm not because I won't flip a cop car.
Backpedaling like a cornerback right now. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Hey, that could
you said property destruction.
Yeah,
you did.
It doesn't have to be a cop car. It could be a fence or some bushes.
A window.
Flipping a cop car is going to get you some prison time.
Yes.
Only if you get caught. Only if you get caught.
But
Anthony Patterson, just seeing that on the news, I would die laughing.
Oh, I mean, I would die laughing, but I'd also be kind of like, oh boy.
Okay, we were talking about what if they were 6-0?
Yeah.
What if Spenmo flipped a cop car on opening day?
You see him on Fox 2 on the little security footage.
It'll come from like the traffic light camera where it's got like the time and the date down in the lower right-hand corner.
Local opening day legends. Right.
Did an opening day legend go too far?
Yeah.
Right.
Fox 2 has the story.
I do not condone flipping cop cars.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just
He has
wanted
a
to know.
line, people.
They can't arrest us all, said Shed.
See, that you can hide in plain sight. They can't get all of you.
I'm a pretty big guy.
But you're nimble. You're agile.
I am nimble.
All you got to do is man bun the hair. They
Like
won't
I
notice
said,
you.
I could outrun some people.
You're like an LSU defensive lineman. Like you have size, but you're nimble.
It's true.
I don't think you would be the one to get caught.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
I've successfully run from the cops a couple times.
Well, see, there you go. See, you got a track record of this.
You're a Grand Theft Auto character already.
What about two birds, both stones? Spenny, would you flip a cop's bike if it was left unattended?
Cop's bike? Yeah. Okay. All right.
A
Sure,
little more reasonable.
What about flipping Sam's car? Chuck Ruhl.
Come on.
We could do that, though.
We can do it right now.
You and I could literally pick that car up and take it here in studio.
That's true.
Why would you do that? Chuck, been on a roll, man. But I have said some mean things to you on air, so like if I'll take that one. I'll take that one on stride. And I do feel bad.
Shed says Spenny ain't been working out for nothing. He's been training for this ish.
That's fair.
All right, I just wanted to know. Chuck Brewer says bring easy with you. Well, no, the show's got to go on in case.
Like I said, I don't condone the flipping of cop cars.
Okay. Steve Wild says don't encourage crimes.
Yeah.
I'm not either.
JL
But if it
Rotrax 583. Top 5 cars to flip. That's a good one.
Top 5?
IRS number one.
IRS number 1.
Number one with a bullet, no doubt about
Soul, number 2.
Kia Soul.
All right, let's do
Toaster
let's do
car.
Rest in Peace Tuesday when we come back. Let me tell you though, best in Detroit sports wearables, as we said, you know it is woodwardsports.com. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. Get the Brad Holmes guy t-shirt. That's going to be the attire for draft day.
Yeah.
I'm just going to roll out and just point you to the t-shirt. Neal, what do you think about the draft pick? I'm Brad Holmes guy.
Yeah.
What else can you say? I'm getting that one. I'm copping that one. We got the new Red Wings lineup as well. Get ready for the playoffs because they do control their fate to go to the playoffs, even though most of you are saying that they've been mathematically eliminated. As a matter of fact, they control their fate, everybody. Get your Red Wings fresh gear as well. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Kool-Aid, Flannel, Sam, Broder, JB, Smooth, and KG. Every morning as they cover all of Detroit sports. Sports talk, banter, live fan interaction, all of it on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Keeping it pushing, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. It is time to put the people in the coffin. That is right. It's a Rest in Peace Tuesday. We've developed kind of a nice little batting lineup, I guess you could say. You guys want to roll it out like usual? You got some conviction, Spenny? You want to hit lead off?
Yeah, I'll hit lead off.
All right, let's do it, man. Who you burying?
R.I.P. Tuesday. For my R.I.P. Tuesday, R.I.P. to the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah.
R.I.P. It's over already.
Yes.
It hasn't even started yet, and it's
Yes.
already over. You guys are going to be picking 1-1. You're the worst team in baseball. Good riddance, you scumbags. I hate the White Sox. I've never been to Chicago, so I can't comment on their city, but your organization, I hate you. And you guys are done. Good luck getting swept in damn near every series you play this year. You guys are suck. It's embarrassing. You only have 2 decent hitters in your lineup, 1 good hitter and 2 decent hitters. You guys suck. Goodbye. Good day, sir.
Rest in piss.
Rest in piss. White Sox. Have fun being the worst team all summer.
And they are. And no one's coming to save them.
Nope.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. Boy, if we can win this division with a week to go, I can rest in peace the Twins and have it come full circle.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. I can't wait.
It sounds good.
God, I hate though. I felt it from you, Spenny, right there. Pause. Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I loved it.
Fuck the White Sox.
100,000,000%. Wait till you go there. You said you're going there. You're going to go to the stadium? Wait.
Yeah.
Take the L there. Get the full experience. Step over the puddles of urine in the station right there.
Okay.
But yeah, tell me about Detroit. Tell me about Detroit and how. Yeah, wait till you go there. KG.
Yeah, batting second.
Who you putting down?
Last week I put your take in the coffin, and I just want to let you know that I see the excitement's coming back, so I'm gonna dig you up out the grave. Okay.
Okay.
So you're living again, but rest in peace to the Tigers. Slow start to the season.
Hey.
The Tigers will be above 500 at the end of April. Mark my words.
Okay, let's go. Okay, and it was needed.
Yeah.
Like let's cut the. This was needed. What if they're 6-0, KG? How you going to be acting in them streets?
Oh, I'm going crazy, man. It is my first opening day with y'all. I've only been to one other opening day. So
for real?
Yeah. Looking forward to it, man.
I've been to all of them but one since I got my driver's license.
Really?
Yeah, I would always go down there. Originally, it was just an excuse to leave school.
Yeah.
So we did that. Really, that's wild to me. What is tuned up KG 6-0 Tigers team on opening day? KG look like the show's done. You're down there already.
Yeah.
Talk to him, KG.
Double fisting beers like Stone Cold. So
Yeah.
throwing them back, man. Let's get it.
God, the content's gonna be electric.
Might have a little green in the pocket if you catch my drift. You know.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day.
Hey man, do what you got to do to get to the spot you got to be in.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't hate it. It's not my thing, but I ain't against it, man.
Hey.
Live your life. Live your life. Sam Flannel.
I cannot wait for that. All right, this rest in peace is to a team that I have more of a connection with than most because I am from Illinois and I have a lot of friends who are fans of this team. Rest in peace to the Chicago Bulls. I know that they've been a team that should have been in the coffin a long time ago.
Chicago.
But, but nobody is in a
Bulls.
perpetual state of rebuild denial or NBA purgatory as the Chicago Bulls. They're going to go in as a play-in team, probably lose in the first round, just like they did last year. The only hope that this team had was if Lonzo Ball stayed healthy. And maybe they would have been able to sneak in a 6th seed if Zach LaVine was healthy. But as we all know, Lonzo Ball may never play in the NBA again, and Zach LaVine played 25 games. This team trying to still win with off the backs of old DeMar DeRozan, who's still good, and old Nikola Vucevic, who on paper, like numbers-wise, is still good, and then a bunch of other pieces. All that gets you is 500, and that's nothing in the NBA. So rest in peace to the Chicago Bulls.
Chicago is catching it.
Yeah, they catching a lot of strays today.
My rest in peace to the Chicago Fire of the MLS. They're 12th place right now. No, I'm just kidding. They are, though. They're in 12th place. They're 1 win, 3 losses, and 2 draws. They're terrible. They're down at the bottom of the MLS table. So you can have your little cute logo be like that little fire, the fire engine logo that they have with that powder blue. You can have that be your logo all you want. Guess what? You stink.
Is Chicago the new Detroit?
No, it's the old Detroit.
Ooh, stop it.
Yeah.
Fire.
No, for real though. This is a serious one that will be less popular. Rest in peace, and there are a lot of them here in this city.
If I got to play the whole song.
Rest in peace to the Sidney Crosby haters. And I know there's a lot here.
I got to play the whole song for
Sidney Crosby just tied Wayne Gretzky's record for his 19th consecutive season, averaging at least a point a game. Think about that. 19 years, 2 decades, averaging a point a game. So the haters, and there are many here, with great reason, he's a great player. Oh, yeah. He's one of the greatest players in the history of the NHL. We cannot like the fact that he clipped the Red Wings one. We got him once, too, though. We got him once.
We did.
He got us once. Okay.
Still didn't like it, but...
But you can hate him, but damn it, you have to respect him. He's one of the greatest of all time. So rest in peace to the Sidney Crosby haters.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going back to when he was drafted until now, it's either him or Ovechkin. Best players of this generation. One of the greatest to ever do it. So,
I personally think it's easily Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, Ovechkin is more likable.
Yeah. Ovechkin's more likable, and he's the better goal scorer, per se, but I think Sid's the better overall.
And I would agree with you on that. I just you have to put an Ovi in the discussion, but I would say Sid as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
The only thing I never liked about Sidney Crosby, besides him beating us that one year, is that he would always start fights and have Malkin clean it up.
Well, every star's like that.
I mean, yeah.
Every star's like that.
But he had that punchable face.
He does have a punchable face.
Very punchable.
No doubt. No doubt.
But he's got the elite longevity now too, which hey, that's the final piece usually to a legacy, is having elite longevity and being 19 straight seasons of over a point a game. That's like LeBron level longevity. Honestly,
Danny G. Crosby has my respect. The dude's a menace. Silky Johnson, hate. Crosby's only 3 seasons away from Stevie Y's captain record as well. Hate. Think about that.
Yeah.
How are we going to be if he plays 3 more years and
Jesus
gets Stevie Y's captain record?
Oh, my God.
Who's the better all-time player? We'll have that discussion. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Ooh, don't say it. Don't say it, Neal. I don't like the look on your face.
That's tough.
Don't say it.
It's tough. Don't say what? It's a tough question. Like, come on. Even the most,
is he better than the captain?
Even the most even the most tried and true diehard Red Wings fan, you have to think about that. Come on, that's fair.
That is fair.
KG, you have to think about that for a minute. Come on now.
Yeah, probably. I don't like it, though.
All right.
I ain't say I got to like it, so.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Art Vandelay, Crosby's facial hair was offensive. I'm glad to see everybody kind of snap back into it, too, though. I'm glad. Chuck Brewer, Neal, you can hate and respect, though, much like I was with MJ. Like MJ and Larry Bird, for me when I was a kid, I don't think I was emotionally developed enough to both hate and respect. It was just pure hate.
Yeah, it's like that when you're younger.
Yeah, when I hated Bird to the point where when his games were on national TV, I turned it off. Like I couldn't stand the Celtics. I couldn't stand Bird.
Yeah.
And I wish I wasn't. I wish I would have took it in more when he played.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, the Celtics were in the way.
Yeah.
The Pistons had to get past them.
Yeah.
So you can understand. And obviously Larry Bird was the best player on those teams, one of the best players in the league. So yeah, that one's understandable. Where at the time you could hate him, looking back, it's just you just have to respect how great of a player he was.
Yeah, that was Kobe for me. Like I didn't like Kobe, but gotta respect him.
DNCENT says that's easily Sid over Yzerman.
We can't kill you for that though. Maybe easily is a little aggressive, but I can't kill you for that.
I could make a case for Yzerman.
Of course you could, but that's why I said
I could make a compelling case.
Yeah, you could. You could.
A very compelling case. I think if I were an attorney for hire, I think I would work for that side of the case.
Yeah.
Because I think I could add more to that than the Crosby side.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's why I said I can't kill you for that. That doesn't mean I agree, but you know how sometimes you have an opinion, but somebody else has one where you're like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Right now.
Paul Thomas, as a Pistons fan, we all hated Bird. I hated Bird the way I hate the Chicago White Sox. You're like, you remember yesterday and the whole White Sox thing?
Yeah.
That's how I hated Larry Bird. It was unhealthy.
We can't.
A lot of people hated Larry Bird. A lot of people hated Jordan.
I hate Jordan too.
Yeah. I can understand that.
I respect his shoes, but I don't respect him.
Best shoe ever made, but you know.
I don't respect him with what he pulled with Isaiah on the Dream Team and stuff like that. That's why I don't respect him.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
You let your feelings get in the way of assembling the best team, because if you look me in the eye, I hate John Stockton.
Yeah.
Now, I hate John Stockton at a White Sox level.
John Stockton's a bum.
If we're being real, Stockton and Isaiah should have been on the team. Take out Christian Laettner. I mean, that's the obvious.
Well, they
one.
wanted 2 college kids on there.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think, obviously, Isaiah, there's levels to this. He's much better than Stockton. I think they should have both been on the team. But I don't. See, obviously, Isaiah should have been in over Stockton if it was either or. No doubt about it.
We'll ride off on this one. Chuck says, Neal, Stevie's best years were before the team had success, so it makes it hard to say. But I would say the team had success because he was willing to take on a new role and did the role tremendously.
That's fair.
And because they had Sergei Fedorov on there. Yeah. Who won an MVP, which Steve Yzerman never won.
That's I mean, not that it's a big black mark, but if you're looking for something to
No, it wasn't Yzerman's fault.
Right,
he was in the league when Gretzky and Lemieux. He was the 3rd best player on planet Earth. Yeah, Steve Yzerman was.
If you're looking to nitpick, even if it's not his fault, the whole Crosby
that's how the Sam Flannel. If you were pro Sid and we were at this trial, Sam Flannel would say, "You're perpetuating a guy who never won a league MVP," and you would leave it at that, not understanding the nuance.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
When you're debating two goats, or well, not really goats, but top players, you got to nitpick. That's all. And I'm not even doing that right now.
Sean says, Neal, where'd you get your hoodie from yesterday? I was wearing the villain one, I think.
Yeah.
A viewer actually sent it to me.
Okay.
So that's
got pulled like that.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I've gotten a lot more bourbon than I have hoodies.
Oh.
A lot of people send bourbon, which
you guys
I'm
can
for.
send me stuff.
Right?
They send you Venmo, man.
Yeah, that's
remember
true.
that bit?
Yeah, we can do that again.
I
paid my taxes the other day. Shit's hurting.
Well, you can still afford a haircut from Lady Jane.
Absolutely. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in and sit back and relax and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust, on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford and Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, and, of course, Sam Flannel in for D-Mac. D-Mac back in tomorrow for the rest of the week. Coming back from a wrestling event, I believe.
Hey.
KG in the house, Spencer Raxter as well. Did want to get into the draft stuff a little bit. I've been trying to get into this, guys, but we made it through a whole show today, like with no football content. I told you football content was coming, but here we are, almost done, and haven't gotten into the football. I need to, though. We need to. Bring me up to speed. Who's the person? Who's the player that the fans are dying on the hill for? You know how like a fan base globs onto one guy, and that's their guy, and if they don't take them, then the draft was a failure. And even though chances are the guy's going to be a bust that everybody wanted anyway, who's the guy in the streets? I know that you guys have been doing a lot of draft stuff for the morning show.
Yeah.
Who's the overriding people's choice, I guess, at 29?
If I had to say, I'd actually probably say Xavier Legette at this point, the wide receiver from South Carolina. And I would be perfectly happy with that choice myself. I like him a lot as a prospect, and he's one that has been rising a lot. In PFF's big board, he's been listed as low as 61 at some points. But I think with his talent and his upside, I think he will eventually, if he's going to be picked at 20 by the Lions, it would have to be at 29. Is it my first choice necessarily? It's not my first, but it's probably my second or third. But that's one that a lot of people really like, Xavier Legette, and for good reason. If I were to give one more, maybe Chop Robinson.
Yeah.
To be that, like, because I know there's some people aren't super excited with the Marcus Davenport signing, and based off of the last couple of years, I can understand that. And I guess if I had to add another one, Kool-Aid McKinstry, he's another one that's getting a lot of run as well.
Where are they at with the foot? What's the latest, for Kool-Aid?
It was a Jones fracture.
Okay.
But he should be fine.
Should be fine?
Yeah.
And that's why he's slipping a little bit?
Yeah.
I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is one of those guys. He's like a classic example of the draft, right? When I say the draft, like it comes out, he was considered top 10-ish, top 15-ish, like a lock. This comes out, I think when push comes to shove and you got to hand that envelope in, he'll go high. He'll go high. If the foot's not a big deal like everybody says it is, he'll get taken high.
So you're saying he probably won't be available at 29?
I don't think he's going to be even close to available.
Well, and that kind of aligns with the thought process of Kool-Aid McKinstry throughout most of college football season, because at least now when you look on big boards, which who knows what they mean, we'll all see how it plays out. His teammate, Terrion Arnold, has passed him. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins, Cooper DeJean, they've all passed him, at least in terms of on big boards, at least on most big boards. Kool-Aid is rated as maybe the 5th or 6th best corner prospect right now. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it's just funny how the draft process works itself out, because he was the man. Yeah, he was certainly the man in college, at least through most of his last season at Alabama. He was definitely projected as the first corner to go.
DNC ENT says it's nobody, Neal. Are you guys gathering that? What about the heavyweights? Spenmo.
Who do we want?
Yeah, who's the will of the people?
I'm with Sam. I think Sam hit it on the nose. Guys like Xavier Legette.
Really?
Guys like, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Those are some of the top names that people want.
The receiver
Graham Barton's another one.
The receiver thing surprises me.
Does
it? Does.
Well, it's going to be, best player available at 29. There's going to be a couple very good receivers there. They met with a couple very good receivers in this draft, in Xavier Legette and Brian Thomas Jr. pre-draft. So those are guys they're looking for as a big X. Now with Josh Reynolds moving on, that is somewhat of a void unless you really have a lot of faith in Donovan Peoples-Jones in your offense. So, I mean, no, I'm not mad at it. Darius Robinson, Corey Berry says he's another guy they met with. He's a Dan Campbell guy. He seems like it for sure. But, yeah, I would say Legette, Kool-Aid, those are what most people are leaning towards.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people would see Kool-Aid, especially, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the elephant in the room. It just is what it is. Who knows how the Lions are going to address the whole Cam Sutton being cut thing? Yeah. Are they going to address it? Are they going to address it in the draft, free agency? Because Cam Sutton, as much as he got burned last season, which he did for a lot of times, wasn't all his fault. You got evidence of him in 2022 being really good as an outside corner, and even in 2020 being a slot corner, more of a slot corner than an outside corner. So I think Cam Sutton is somebody that would have benefited from a better secondary, which on paper they have this year, and that's going to be a void. So maybe at 29, people see corner as maybe the most glaring need. And I think people remember how highly thought of Kool-Aid McKinstry was up until the draft process, to where he's now, seen as a bottom first round corner. And that's appealing. It is. You feel almost like you're getting a steal. Even if it's not really your opinion, Kool-Aid was the man, and now he's, for whatever reason, he's been falling. But I think like you, there's a chance that he's not available at 29.
Where's the Jackson Powers Johnson train at these days? And again, I'm asking because I want to be I can look at a mock draft and say that that's gospel, but I prefer to go to the people that are dealing with this.
I don't see a lot of people screaming for his name because he'll probably be gone before the Lions can even have a chance.
Because they were talking, like, remember he had slippage for a second. Yeah. Like people were talking about maybe mid-20s for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it almost hurts me to have these discussions.
Yeah.
Because every draft is the same. Every draft is a lot like college football rankings. It also, like, you can predict how it's going to go. Like, we have this initial list, pro days happen, and whoever had their pro day last shoots up, whoever had their pro day first falls down, even though it's clear, like, who was better. To us, anyway, it's clear who was better.
Yeah.
And then, it's flip-flops back and forth, and then the day the draft comes, we're basically right back to what we all thought it was going to be originally, sans one or two stunners.
Yeah, and if I were to maybe give a little insight on the Jackson Powers Johnson thing, I like most everybody else think that he's not going to be available at 29. I also think the Kevin Zeitler signing had something to do with maybe why people aren't clamoring for Jackson Powers Johnson as much. And that's just because with Jackson Powers Johnson, I think with at the time Jonah Jackson, we thought that he was leaving, Graham Glasgow was still there, and Jonah Jackson ended up leaving. You thought we might need somebody to start right away. But with the Kevin Zeitler signing, he's going to be there. Graham Glasgow's going to be there. And then maybe if you don't want to trade up for Jackson Powers Johnson or take him at 29, which is if he's available at 29, take him, you might be looking at a later round guard, like a Zach Zinter, for example.
Or next year.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Zeitler's going to have that spot at least for a year.
Yeah.
Steve Wild says, just like the dude at Army that was supposed to be a first rounder and then went undrafted. Exactly. Well, that's because, too, like, a lot of people out there hate America, like Sam Flannel, and they don't respect academy football.
I mean, it's not my favorite brand to watch, but
you love Michigan football.
Yeah.
I mean, their quarterback's going to go top 10 in the draft. Just saying.
Yeah, even though they had 6 weeks where they were pretty much the same from an output perspective.
They weren't the same.
Here we go.
They were not the same.
They were pretty much the same.
If you want to look at just touchdown passes, sure, JJ had a long stretch where he didn't throw very many, but it's not all about that. He had over 300 yards versus Purdue. And I get it, it's just Purdue, but Michigan aired the ball out more last year than you think. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Just they were comparable for almost half the season.
Well, and also all those games were wins and then talent and all of that. They're comparable except for everything about football.
Yeah, but Army's quarterback played in an option system and put up the same, put up similar numbers.
So if he wasn't in the option system, he would have been J.J. McCarthy. That's what you're saying.
No. I'm saying that the output was about the same, and one guy was in an option system.
Well,
that's all. That's all I'm saying.
It's all right. Michigan did what it took to win a national championship, and that's ultimately all that matters.
Tell them about Dispo.
Absolutely, I can tell you about Dispo. Visit Dispo Dispenser today for exclusive new deals and experience a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere, mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Save the date for 420 at Dispo Dispensary. Dispo is putting on epic events with over 1,000 giveaways at each location. Stay tuned for more details. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Join Woodward Sports for two great parties, Grand Slam Fest and the opening day block party. Grand Slam Fest will be broadcasting live from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or come party at the block party, Brass Rail, Love and Tequila, and the Annex. One ticket gets you in all three. Win your tickets now, like the stream, and comment Grand Slam Fest. We will select one winner to come to opening day fest April 5th at the Detroit Opera House parking lot, or buy your tickets at grandslamfest.com.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Spencer Raxter. Of course, we got Sam Flannel in for DMAC, also KG in the house. We've got a couple orders of business before we cut out of here. Number one, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Detroit Supremacy says, Army football is a snooze fest. Well, you know what, Detroit Supremacy? I hope the next time the Army says, you know what, Detroit Supremacy's freedom is a snooze fest. And they just turn and they leave and they walk away. And the next thing you know, your nation's invaded. And you know what that means for you. Luckily, they don't share the same sentiment you do, Detroit Supremacy.
Triple option saves lives.
Ask the Germans about the triple option.
Yeah.
Right, Spenny?
For sure. Ask the Germans. Ask the Japanese.
Ask pretty much everybody.
Pretty hard double option on the Japanese.
Ask the British.
Ask the British.
Oh, man.
Ask the British.
I love this show.
Indeed.
Ask them all.
Ask them all. Except for Vietnam. Don't ask them.
Well, we got a couple draws,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
a couple controversial, judges' decisions out there. It's tough to win on the road, man.
Yeah, man.
Ask the Gulf about the triple option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask Korea about the triple option.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So we have that. The other issue that we have to resolve here before we cut out of here. Tomorrow, Top 5 Wednesday.
Ooh, what are we doing?
I felt like we had this decided. Now I forgot what it was.
It was top 5. It wasn't road signs. It was something else.
Top 5 road signs.
I thought it was something else, though.
Top 5 body parts. Top 5 pizza toppings.
Hoof-hearted. Don't Google double option on the Japanese at work, FYI. It's true.
Top 5 stripper names. Top 5 potato chips.
That's a good one.
Top 5 beers. Top 5 sounds.
Should it be something for baseball?
It
We already
should.
did ballpark foods.
Top 5 shots for opening day.
Top 5 shots. Okay.
Yeah.
Spenny,
Yeah, I'm down for that.
DMAC knew about that in a past life.
For sure.
He'll have some thoughts as well.
Top 5 milks is why I buy. Is that what it was? Top 5 milks?
I don't think so.
Top 5 armed forces.
All right. Top 5 shots
All
in
right.
honor of opening day,
Sounds
everybody.
good.
All right.
Top 5 American wins.
Steve Wild's top 5
Waking up every day in good old US of A.
top 5 STDs to avoid.
Oh,
I think everybody should have the same number one.
I think AIDS would be number
AIDS
one.
is
right?
definitely number
Right.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
top 5 drugs.
Yeah. So
Top 5 reasons to flip cop cars.
let's go Red Wings Sparty. Tigers being 4-0 on the road is the best road win streak since USA was 2-0 over Japan.
It's true. It's a good point.
Yes. Yeah, we'll do that then. Top 5 shots in honor of opening Spencer's performance at opening day.
Yeah.
We'll let Spencer go last that day since you are,
Okay.
you're the one that'll be executing it.
It's fair.
I better not see Jaeger on anybody's list.
Jaeger's nasty.
I'm a disown y'all.
But you know what though?
I hate
Don't
Jaeger.
do it, Neal. Don't you do it.
Post Malone Jaeger.
No, like it's gross. 100% it's gross. But you can't disrespect Jaeger's hustle.
Oh
you can't. Everyone's gone through a Jaeger phase. Everybody who's drank.
I've never been through a Jaeger
You're right.
phase.
So you've never had Jaeger shots
I've had
before?
a Jaeger shot like once in my life.
You beat your children if you went through a Jaeger phase.
So that I beat my well, my children right now.
They shouldn't have been talking shit. Like, no.
Double options.
Everyone had a Jaeger phase.
Jaeger
Speak for yourselves.
Silky Johnson, hate. Jaeger is delicious.
Nah.
No, let's stop. Calm down.
I'll have a New Amsterdam phase before I have a Jaeger phase.
Isn't there a time when you're young and all you just care about is what gets the job done?
Flannel, do you have a Jaeger phase?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly true. Where you just care about what gets the job done. So why would you spend more
I know
money
Stick had
to
a
get
Jaeger phase.
gross Jaeger? If I'm caring about what gets the job done, give me a $7 fifth R&R. I'm having a good
Or
night.
like back in the day, like the $1.99 Four Locos.
Yeah. Oh, the Four Locos.
Mad
Back when they
Dog,
were
yeah.
illegal. and
Mad
they
Dog 2020.
fucking had more caffeine than they did alcohol in them. Oh,
right.
yeah.
To what you said, I respect Fireball's hustle.
I hate Fireball.
That's what I'm saying. They should. If you're
Jaeger,
being
no.
if you're being objective, they should be under consideration for your list.
Who?
Do they suck? Yeah. Fireball and Jaeger.
No.
Yes, they should.
I would
you
refuse shots of Fireball and Jaeger.
You cannot. Ty Cobb's in the Hall of Fame too. He was an asshole.
Yeah, he's a racist.
So like Jaeger bomb, and Fireball would be in the shots.
Children.
They would be in the shots Hall of Fame.
I don't know about that.
Not for me.
Yes, they would.
Not for me.
I don't know about that.
All right, it's going to be electric tomorrow. For Sam Flannel, for Spencer Raxter, and for KG, I'm Neal Ruhl. Thanks for tapping in. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.